Bettor Sports Betting is your home for picks, props, and futures for tonight's action. Bettor Sports Betting wants to know what picks you're playing tonight. Tell us in the live chat on YouTube, Twitter, and the Bettor Sports Network app. This is Bettor Sports Betting with Fantasy Alarm's Dan Servodidio.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome in here to the Bettor Sports Betting Show here on Bettor Sports Network and Fantasy Alarm. Howard's he's got his. Is your glasses not working? You got them below your eyes there?
I know. I was like, just leaning in. I wanted you to see the baby blues. I just want to flash that. You know, it's like the one good asset I have. So I always have to make sure that they're front and center, even though they're hiding behind glasses. Here, is that better? Hi,
Howard, you got
Bettor Sports Betting.
You got more than one good asset. We all know that. One of those is making
tell my wife what they are, because she's still looking.
Well, I know sports related. You're a great host on this channel. You've been busy today with different shows, pulling quadruple duty now, right? On these Fantasy Alarm Bettor Sports Network shows. You did some fantasy football stuff earlier, we got plenty of baseball talk now to get to.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, listen, Bettor morning. What a great way to start your day. 8 a.m. Eastern. Me, Corey Parsons, Coop, Britt, talking about the top stories. Then I was on the Quick Out podcast with just me and Coop. Usually John Impemba is over there, but he's on a GQ photo shoot in Italy right now still. So, and then I did and then I host Alarm Fantasy Football with Britt and Coop as well. So, yeah, it's been a busy one here. I'm ready to start throwing down some bets. I was on the MLB Best Bets article over at fantasyalarm.com today, coming off of a nice little a cutesy little 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 Monday. And I'm ready to get at it again today.
Yeah, back on it. We got a full slate of games. Just one afternoon game going on in Major League Baseball, but pretty much a full slate tonight. With every team in action today. So we got plenty of picks to get to. You mentioned that Quick Out fantasy football show and Alarm fantasy football show. If you haven't already, go get the fantasy football draft guide at fantasyalarm.com. You can get free access to the draft guide if you have the All Pro subscription. You can start your 7-day free trial at Fantasy Alarm All Pro and get immediate free access to the draft guide. But you can also purchase it for $26.99 if you want to go that route. And you can make it back with a few of our bets tonight. Easy peasy. And but we got tons of games going on today. I do have one pick tracking right now. Rockies, I took them on the run line. They did not go full send with the money line there as big underdogs to the Astros, but they're down 5-4 right now in the 7th. So the run line is cashing currently, but we'll see. Got a few more innings. So we'll kind of keep track of that one. But do you have any picks on this early game, or just kind of going all out for tonight?
I didn't. I was actually kind of eyeballing the Rockies on the run line with JP France on the mound for the Houston Astros. I mean, listen, I don't love Chase Anderson either. I think he sucks, but for that same token, though, I was like, I think the Rockies could do enough to keep it close. But it is what it is. I just I stayed away from it for the most part. I was looking at it, but no, I didn't play it. I had too many other things I was playing today, being on the best bets and then of course it's like prop betting, right? It's like eating a bag of potato chips. Can't just have one. Can't just bet one prop. All of a sudden you're like, the next thing you know, you're like through the full sleeve of Pringles and you don't know what day it is. So
well, on that note, we have a ton of prop picks and player props that we are definitely going to give out to you guys today, because I know me and Howard both in on multiple player props that we love. So in addition to some game bets. And on that note, let's get to our top game bets for tonight, our best bets for tonight's slate. What's your top pick here?
Oh, you see it right there on the scoreboard there. By the way, shout out to Adam Bernard, always putting together some beautiful graphics here for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Here it is.
Giving himself a little applause there. I love it.
Yeah. Yo, Bernard. I'm going Twins Royals Did I say under? I think I meant to say, I said over 8.5 runs, Twins Royals. So we're a little off here on the graphics. Sorry to do that to you there, Adam. Too busy applauding yourself, I guess. Royals Twins over 8.5 runs for me. I got it this morning at -105 on BetMGM. The Royals are starting Alec Marsh, who's a rookie who got slapped around a little bit in his first time out. And then you look at Pablo Lopez's numbers, and you and I have talked Pablo Lopez before. He's got like a 5.49 ERA at home, dominant on the road. At home, really kind of sucks at baseball. Now, he's faced the Royals twice now this season. Once on opening day, he shut him out for 6. And then a month later, at the end of April, he ended up playing the Royals again in Minnesota, and he gave up 6 earned runs in 6 innings. Now, the lineup is obviously a little different. You don't have Vinny Pasquantino there anymore, so it's a little bit different of a lineup. But I think with the struggles that we've seen from Pablo Lopez at home, I'm not averse to saying that he could give up a couple of runs. If he gives up, I don't know, 3-4 runs maybe, and then Alec Marsh gives up, 4 or 5 runs, well, then we're hitting the over on this one here, Servo. So there it is, baby. -105. Oh, look at that. Yeah, over 8.5 runs.
There's the correct graphic there.
Give me some.
Yeah, the Pablo Lopez has been a pitcher. You mentioned it. We've talked about it because I've bet on him when he's on the road because of his really good road numbers and his advanced metrics like expected ERA, FIP are a lot lower than his current ERA. Some good other advanced stats there for him. So it's a guy I've bet on for sure. And I think last week I cashed. I forget who he was facing, but I cashed on his bet. But even though on the road at home here, it's weird, those numbers. It's kind of odd because certain pitchers you expect them to be better at home than on the road, but it's kind of the reverse for him. So yeah,
especially
I like that.
Because it's pitcher friendly there at Target Field. It is pitcher friendly. I guess he just, I don't know. I honestly, I have no idea. It's so weird when you see those home road splits. When I've done with that before, man, one of the very first articles I ever wrote in a fantasy baseball draft guide was an article about home road splits for pitchers in Texas. It was like at that point where it's obviously it was pitcher friendly and whatever, but you looked and CJ Wilson was one of those guys who had crappy home numbers and phenomenal numbers on the road. And I dug in a little bit, and you know why? You want to know why? New baby in the house.
Oh,
changing diapers, late night feedings, everything. He comes home from a game and it's, and he's dealing with some late night feedings as well. And, and it was so funny because I caught up on a couple of interviews that he did and he talked about his family. So I was like, see, these guys aren't machines. These guys are human beings who have certain things like that. Now, I don't know if Pablo Lopez has a kid at home, but he sucks at home. Bet against him.
Yeah, or just the added the stressors of just being at home. You think it might be the other way around, but if you're on the road and you just kind of get into a rhythm of like going to the ballpark, going back to the hotel room, but when you're at home, you might have to deal with a little family. It just adds a little different aspect to it. And it's weird. Yeah, the thing with baseball, I mean, obviously we all know this is like paternity leave for these guys is not that long. So their wives, their partners are at home dealing with, a newborn baby. And it's, when they come home, it's like, all right, I got to take on all that responsibility. Don't think Lopez, I haven't seen him be on the paternity leave list this year yet. So I don't think he's got a newborn baby, but
we'll see what happens when a newly married Dan Servodidio ends up having a kid or two. We'll see what he looks like here on the live stream at home, or if all of a sudden he's like taking business trips.
All of a sudden my bets start not cashing and all right, my top pick tonight, my best bet. I'm going with the Braves and Guardians over in the first 5 innings, over 5.5, -122 on FanDuel. We got Cal Quantrill on the mound for Cleveland here, 6.18 ERA this year, and then lately he's just getting hammered. Allowed 6 earned runs or more in 3 straight starts coming into tonight. And now he's got to face this Braves offense that is just red hot. I mean, all season long, they're the best offense against right-handed pitching. But lately, over the past week, a 406 WOBA, 361 ISO against right-handed pitching. It's rare this offense gets held down. And I think early on, they'll get to Quantrill here, even on the road. And then, on the other side for the Braves, it's Mike Soroka, who, he returned to the Braves rotation, but just was not sharp, has not been sharp overall this season in his 3 outings. Got a 6.89 ERA through his 3 starts. It's a lot of at least 3 runs each start there. And the Guardians, season-long numbers against righties, not great. This is a team, we faded for their offense earlier this year, but it's completely flipped over the past month. And the past couple weeks for sure. 344 WOBA over the past month against right-handed pitching, 120 WRC +2 against righties. And, this offense has just gotten a lot better over the past month, and, top 5 home offense too in this span as well. So I think both sides of this matchup can put up runs. The game total, I looked at it too for the over, but it's at 10, kind of staying away from that. I think the first 5 over is the way to go.
Yeah, I like that bet there. I like not doing the 10 because you could legit see this being like a 7-4 game. You could also see this game being like 6-2.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm with you completely. I think you're doing a great job with the with just the first 5 inning over. Both these guys could get lit up a little bit tonight.
Appreciate that. Yeah. When I get the Howard Bender mark of approval, I feel just a little bit better about it.
Aw, walking a little taller. Well, I'm in like celebration mode today because we get another top rookie who's being called up for MLB. I was digging in. I was like, come on, somebody's got to give me a Colton Cowser prop so I can bet that tonight. And literally there's nothing in there, that I looked on BetMGM or DK Sportsbook or Caesars, the 3 primary books I use. Nothing on Colton Cowser yet, but this kid's going to be super exciting. So, yeah. So I'm in a good mood today, Servo. There it is, so I'll help tout your picks.
Yeah, Cowser for the Orioles, right?
Cowser for the Orioles.
Looking right now. I'm looking right now. I don't see any on DraftKings as we're speaking now.
I don't think I think they purchased the contract, but I don't think they've like officially, added him to the roster or whatever it is. Okay. I'm sure he'll be all over the place tomorrow, which will be great because obviously he's going to go 2 for 4 with a home run and a double and 4 RBI tonight. And that way, everybody jumps on him tomorrow and they're like, oh, yeah, get his hits plus runs plus RBI prop over 2.5. And it's plus 170. He's totally going to do that.
Well, on that note, I'll go, not to fade him at all, but we'll see if he's in the lineup tonight. But I'm going with the Yankees money line as one of my picks tonight against those Orioles. Because it's Dean Kramer on the mound for Baltimore, who is just, 5.04 ERA this year, a 6.03 expected ERA, and he's getting hit hard lately. He's got a 5.91 ERA in the month of June. The Yankees offense, listen, I've knocked them in the past here. I'm sorry, Howard, but I'm on them tonight. Their offense has been better, a lot better lately. Over the past month against right-handed pitching, they've been better, but over the past week, a 333 WOBA against righties, a low strikeout rate and a high walk rate too, which is I think trouble for Kramer, who does not strike out a lot of guys, can run into trouble like he has been in his last few outings I mentioned. And the Yankees, they scored 6+ runs in 5 of their past 7 games. The offense is starting to click with guys actually stepping up now. And on the other side, a little worried for this matchup here. Randy Vasquez on the mound, getting called up from AAA. Right. Started a couple games earlier this season, was decent. But I look at the Orioles offense and they're a bottom 5 offense lately against right-handed pitching over the past 2 weeks and over the past month too, just taking a real step down from what they were at the beginning of the year. And I'm seeing the Yankees here. I think they won the first 2 games of the series against Baltimore, and I think they take the third here, and with the Yankees trending up right now and the Orioles just trending a little bit down.
Listen, I would love the sweep as a Yankees fan, obviously. I do worry about Randy Vasquez also and, what he's going to end up doing. But, it's funny. You see teams that are, really surging right before the All-Star break and teams that aren't surging so much. So, we'll have to wait and see. I like that. I like that because you're backing my Yankees. I can dig that. I don't think I bet on your team today. What I did was here you go, man. Cubs Brewers really intrigues me. Listen, I love Justin Steele. I think Justin Steele is a fantastic pitcher. I think he deserves at least consideration. If Clayton Kershaw is on the IL, then I think that Steele deserves consideration to start that game. Him and Zach Gallen are the two top pitchers to me in that National League now that Kershaw is not in there. So Justin Steele going up against these Brewers, over 5.5 strikeouts. Yeah, it's right there on the on the board. It's minus 134 on FanDuel. It's not it's good, not great money. I had to really shop around. I never bet on FanDuel, but I had to shop for the odds here because the Brewers strike out 28% of the time against left-handed pitchers. And, while Steele is not, the most dominant strikeout guy out there, he's still, he's 6 or more strikeouts in his last 2 starts. And again, like the Brew Crew, just, absolutely awful there. So I like Steele on the over for his strikeout prop. And I'll tell you what, I like the under in this game. Cubs Brewers, under 8.5 runs. You got Adrian Hauser on the other side. And I think a lot of people are going to be gun shy about this because they scored 27 runs in the first 2 games of this series, right? So, it was, I think it was like 9-7 and 7-6 were the 2 scores. But I think Justin Steele manhandles this Brewers lineup. And then, you know what? Adrian Hauser, not the greatest of starter, but you've seen him put together some quality starts that I don't need him to shut out the Cubs. I just need him to not get completely lit up. So if these guys, if they can both go 6 innings and keep it to a minimum of 2 or 3 runs in total, I feel like I got the under on this one here.
Yeah, the Prize Picks video up on Fantasy Alarm right now too, by Colby Conway. He's also on the over for Justin Steele's strikeout prop tonight, so he's on board with you. I'm sorry, I got to push back just a little bit here though.
Ooh, do it,
because I looked at this
never,
prop too.
Never apologize for pushing back. Push the F back, dude. Let's go.
Oh, we're being all lovey-dovey.
I don't want to be lovey-dovey. I don't want to be
I saw your
to coin to paraphrase Jeff Mans, right? Say it with your chest, Servo. Let's go.
Yes, I'm very familiar with Jeff Mans saying it with his chest. So, because I looked at this prop too, because of the matchup against the Brewers, and Steele has been fantastic. And I've bet his overs on his strikeout props and backed the Cubs with him starting a number of times. The Brewers, just when I looked at for the past 2 weeks, I love going past 2 weeks, as do you, with looking at sample sizes. Mm-hmm. Because overall, the Brewers' strikeout rates this year have been terrible. But over the past 2 weeks, they're more league average, in terms of strikeouts against left-handed pitching. 23% strikeout rate and a higher 9.8% walk rate too, which has me just a little bit worried for the strikeouts. And also, you've talked about this on this show a number of times, is the whole groupthink with everyone being on the over on a prop mm-hmm. or on a bet that everyone's on. I've seen a lot over the industry today, and I mentioned with Colby going over and you going over, everyone liking Steele's strikeout props. So I'm just kind of being like, wait, what if because the 5.5 strikeout line is a little bit low for him too. So maybe I could see him getting right.
I don't think it's low at all for him. If you look at his game log, it's actually not that not that great.
He's been at 6, 7, 8 a lot though.
No, Justin Steele. He pitches for the Cubs. Here you go. Last time 6, the time before that 8, 4, 1, 4, 6, 8, 3, 4, 3, 5, 5, and another 8. So He's like right down in that area. I think the 5.5 is a good number here, because I think that a lot of people might do that. Like, I get what you're saying, and I actually looked into it because I was like, well, who are the lefties that the Brewers have faced over the last 2 weeks? And as far as starting pitching goes, really not a lot. I mean, they've gone against the Pirates, the Mets, the Guardians, and the Diamondbacks. And I'm looking at the Pirates. I don't even know if they faced Rich Hill. He's like the only lefty starter on the Pirates team. For the Mets, the only lefty starter they have is David Peterson. And then then you look at like the Cleveland Guardians, and they don't have a lefty starter on their team. So the numbers that we're seeing here from the Brewers, let's say over the last 2 weeks, because like in the last 7 days, it's been like under 20% strikeout rate. Over the last 14 days here for Milwaukee, it's league average 22.6%, but they haven't really faced any lefties. Like, you're looking at, not a whole heck of a lot.
I did look back at Rich Hill. He struck out 8 against Milwaukee on Sunday. So that's right to your point there. So, all right. Well, we'll see. I intentionally didn't make it one of my picks because I did want to go the over there, but
you just didn't want me to be like, come on, let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. Bet.
Yeah, you're trying to bet on all these side bets here.
And you know what? I'll tell you what. In all honesty, I enjoy the side action and the fun bets more than I deal with the money. Like, okay, I'll win some money, which my wife will just piss away on shoes or something like that in no time. So, for me, it's more about, if I can get like Servo to sing on the show, if I can get Adam Bernard to sing on the show, like those are the moments I cherish. They mean more to me than the almighty dollar.
Well, the last one we did, I think you ended up losing that one, right? So, and you had to sing. So maybe it's just secretly you want to sing on the show. That's fine.
Well, I mean, when now I know that I get nothing but Disney classics from Adam's daughter.
Yeah,
do what you got to do.
That's your fault for putting your fate in the hands of an almost 4-year-old. So,
dude, I would rather put my fate in the hands of an almost 4-year-old than any adult on this planet.
That's a very fair point, actually. I'll agree with that.
Right? She hasn't been just ruined and beaten down by society yet. She's just, all she knows is that these two people who she lives with are really cool folks and they love her a lot. Like, that's her life right there.
Yeah. And the biggest disappointment in her life is not getting to watch the iPad for longer than a certain amount of time. Like, that's her bad day. So
why not?
She gets crazy if she watches it. Gotta limit it.
Do you not let her watch this show?
I mean, she's in preschool right now, so I doubt they have gambling content on there, but I could see if they could put a TV in, or at least
a whole lot cooler if that preschool did, man. It'd be a whole lot cooler.
Adam, I don't think you should get her started on gambling this early.
No, but the younger they are, the more of a sponge their brain is. So simple concepts and stuff like that, you're gonna learn it.
What could possibly go wrong?
She's gonna be running her own book by age 12. Man.
Me and my buddy ran our own gambling sheets for a couple of weeks in high school, and then we had to stop. If we get caught, we're going to get expelled and feel murdered. So we did that for 2 weeks and then stopped. 90s were a different time.
Yeah. I can't wait till the moment comes where you turn to your daughter and you're like, all right, well, I need you to go to bed right now. And she's like, you going to give me even money for that?
Or if she has a prop that she's waiting on, come on, can I stay for one more inning, please?
I have 5 more minutes. I just have to see this guy finish the inning. I have an over on his outs bet. Please.
I got the over on this Dodgers game. I got to stay up.
Ooh, let's talk Dodgers game. Let's do that. There, we got a lot of good bets for that one.
Yeah, this is a good one. So you go first here because mine's kind of piggybacking off of you, I think.
All right. Well, I've got a game bet on it, and I've got a prop as well. The game bet is Dodgers team total over 5.5 runs. You're giving it to me for plus 100. To me, that's like a no-brainer. Osvaldo Beto is the pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm not impressed. Not at all. Dodgers have been scoring some decent runs. I think they've lost like 3 out of 4 games, but yet over their last 5 games, they're averaging like 6.5 runs per game. I've got it all in the write up here. I've got the details. Oh yeah. Oh, look at what they're. Oh yeah. Dodgers 366 BABIP with a 360 WOBA over the past week. Yes, please. And listen, Beto pitches to contact. Right? He doesn't have swing and miss stuff. His swinging strike rate is like 6.3%. So yeah, I'm not a really big fan of that. I think the Dodgers can put up some runs on that one. And then to show you how confident I am, JD Martinez over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBI. Beto's a sinker ball pitcher. JD Martinez is a low ball hitter. He loves to launch it. So for minus 120 on BetMGM, I've got him in there. And, I don't want to spoil anything coming up later in the show, but I really like JD Martinez.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you got to keep watching to see what other picks Howard likes for JD here. So I guess I'm going on the other side of this, but still back in a Dodger here. Bobby Miller, I'm going with the over on his outs prop, over 17.5 outs, minus 165 on DraftKings. I still like it, even though it's juiced. You can throw it in a parlay or something if you want. But it's interesting. So you mentioned these previous games for the Dodgers, and their bullpen has been used a lot because the Pirates have been a little feisty here. But the last 2 games with Michael Grove and Emmett Sheehan yesterday, both of them failed to go into the 5th inning. So they were hitting their bullpen early and often. In both those games, last night was again an instance where they had to use up a ton of guys. Especially I noticed like Evan Phillips, their 9th inning guy, being used like 3 days in a row. So he's probably not available here. Just these little instances just initially had me leaning the over on Bobby Miller's outs prop because I think they want him to go deeper. I think they want him to go 6+ here, especially for tomorrow. The Dodgers have Julio Urias on the mound, who just returned from his injury, was limited in his first start back, only through I don't have it in front, but he was limited, only went 3 innings in his first start back, and I think they're still watching his pitch count. They don't want him to be overdoing it here, coming back from his injury. So I think the Dodgers are looking to Miller here to go 6+ here. So I like the over 17.5. And Miller, I mean, he's got a good matchup here against the Pirates, one of the worst offenses against right-handed pitching this season. They've been a little bit better lately, as I've mentioned, being a little feisty, but I think they're going to come back down to earth here in this matchup. And, the Dodgers are going to look at Miller here with he's got a 3.40 FIP, 3.54 expected ERA, which is encouraging. Saying some better better outings are coming for him compared to his 4.23 ERA this year. So I think Miller's outs prop is the way to go here, hitting the over. And by the way, he's been over this just 3 of his 7 starts this year, which isn't great on the surface. But if you look at his game logs, he went 5 2/3, which is 17 outs exactly, in 2 other of those. So he could be over this in 5 of his 7 starts, but he just missed it a couple times. I think he's going over here.
Yeah. 17.5 is okay. Yeah. So he's just got to complete 6 innings. That's
pretty much. Yeah.
Just complete 6 innings, which he's done 3 times already. I mean, listen, he had a couple of rough outings against Houston, against San Francisco. Yeah. But you kind of expect that from a young starter. He can have 2, 3, 4 really nice outings, but now everybody's got the scouting report on him. Everybody knows the pitch tendencies. People are looking to see if he's tipping any of his pitches in any way at all. So, to see him struggle against San Francisco and Houston doesn't really bother me all that much. He bounced back somewhat against the Kansas City Royals in his last outing, and now he's got the Pirates. So yeah, I over 17.5 outs. I like it, Servo.
Yeah, and even if he allows a few runs, I I still think they're going to be looking for him to eat some innings
Stretch him
here.
out. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because what I mentioned, Urias going tomorrow. They're used a ton of arms the last couple games. So, what else you got for tonight?
I don't have anything else there for today. Well, I do, but but for my straight bets, there you go. I've got that. I got a couple of props if you want to talk about it, or you want to give out something. Give me out the rest of your your MLB bets.
I guess I got a few here, so I'll let you be the judge on my on some of my picks here because I'll run through them here. Going with the under on Kodai Senga's under strikeout prop, 5.5 is the number. I got a -112 on FanDuel. Listen, if you look at his game logs this year, he's been over this a lot, and he's had 6+ strikeouts in 4 straight starts, 8 of the last 9 outings. But this is an instance where I mentioned earlier steal a little bit, but I look at this 5.5 number, and I think it's this low for a reason, and that's because of the matchup on the road, especially. But the matchup against the Diamondbacks is very tough. Diamondbacks have the one of the lowest strikeout rates against right-handed pitching this whole season, third lowest at 19.7%, and strong numbers too against righties. 337 WOBA, a high walk rate too. And over the past month, they're even a little bit better. 354 WOBA, 19% walk strikeout rate. And also against at home this year, they have one of the better strikeout rates. So I think the matchup for Senga is tough. And Senga's had issues on the road this year. He's a much better guy at home, 264 at home compared to ERA at home compared to a 458 ERA on the road. Better just splits in other categories too, at home versus on the road. So I think this strikeout rate is, 5.5. It seems low if you look at his game logs, but I'm still going under because of the road matchup.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in 8 out of his last 9 starts, he's gone over. You know what? Like the pushback I've got here for this one is because he's got that ghost forkball that just seems to keep a lot of teams off balance. So that's definitely his outing against Toronto where he just got beaten up. And chased early was the one outing in those last 8 or 9 starts that he went under this mark. So that's a tough one. What were the odds that you got that on?
It's about even money, -112 on FanDuel. So
wow, still a -112. That's like that. The odds there that would have told me I would have stayed away from that then, only because you're like, you're giving legit odds there. But I mean, for him to go under 5.5, I would think that you should be getting better odds on that. You should be getting, a lot more, you should at least be getting plus money.
Well, that's the thing. Other sports books, like I'm looking on DraftKings right now, it's -120. I think on BetMGM is -120 as well. So it's actually trending towards the under. So that was the best odds out there on FanDuel.
So everybody's on the under, and you were talking about groupthink earlier.
I don't think everybody's on the under. I think if you look at his track record, people would say go over on this, but I'm zagging there.
They would, but everybody seems to be pounding that under.
Maybe.
All
right. Well, another pick I have tonight. So maybe you're pushing back a little bit there. That's fine.
I'm going like a light shove, like a get out of my way.
I'm going with, all right, how about this one? Another pitcher prop. How about Eduardo Rodriguez under his hits allowed, under 4.5 hits, -135 on DraftKings. So a little bit risky. His first start back since spending the last month on the IL with a ruptured tendon in his finger. Not great. But I think that's part of the under possibly hitting because I think he's going to be limited in this start. I don't think he's going to be going deep. So that helps with even if he's got 4 scoreless innings, I don't think he's pitching deep. And in his rehab start, his lone rehab start in the AAA, he threw just 58 pitches and 4 1/3 scoreless innings. So that's a little bit encouraging. But also with that workload, I don't think he's going deep. So that helps the under here. But I can't ignore what he's done this season before getting hurt. A 2.13 ERA before he went on the IL. 0.98 WHIP. At home this year, 5 home starts. He's got a 1.64 ERA and just a 1.84 batting average against. And Oakland, I mean, listen, this is the matchup we're targeting all season long. And, they've had some ups and downs, but lately they're back down to earth here. A bottom level offense against lefties all season, but over the past 2 weeks, a 177 batting average and 233 WOBA against left-handed pitching. So I think Eduardo Rodriguez under the 4.5 hits allowed. It's risky again because he's coming off his injury. He could have a bad inning or two, but I don't think that's happening against Oakland.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe he gets a little wild and he walks a couple of guys. Maybe that gets him into trouble. But I think, for a potentially shortened outing for him to, not give up 5 hits, for him to just give up 4 hits against the Oakland A's. I think that's a sensible bet. Look at you being all sensible there.
Just trying to find those little edges. And that's like one that, I feel like a lot of people won't even think about, but I'm just going with it. All right, my last one before we get to some Diamond Dogs and some Daily Dingers for tonight. I'm going with Matt Olson. I like the first 5 over in this game against the Guardians and the Braves, but I like Matt Olson to go over his total bases. He's going 0 for 3 in back-to-back games entering tonight, and I think he gets off the snide here. He's had over before these past 2 games where he went over. He went over 1.5 total bases in 10 of his previous 13 games. He's slashing 333, a batting average 917, OPS over his past 15 games. The guy's been on fire, hitting tons of homers lately. Could go deep tonight. Cal Quantrill on the mound. I mentioned him. I mean, just 6.18 ERA, not great numbers. Against left-handed hitters this year, he's allowing a 380 WOBA and 280 batting average. And Olson himself has a 1021 OPS versus righties. And I mentioned 25 of his 28 homers have come off of right-handed pitching this season. So I think Olson on the mound here can get it done.
I will, I routinely bet on Matt Olson. I will never bet against Matt Olson, especially going up against a righty.
Right.
I love his bat. I
like the total bases in this instance because his hits, runs, RBIs is at it's up to 2.5, and just kind of staying away from that one.
Yeah. I'm with you.
All right, let's get to some more picks here. We got a real-time sports daily pick'em contest that we want to talk about here because you've been giving some videos out to the people. If you haven't checked those out, check them out on the Bettor Sports Network YouTube, Fantasy Alarm YouTube. But we got a couple picks that you want to give to the people for this real-time sports daily pick'em contest. You could set a lineup of player props for NFL, MLB, which we're doing tonight, NBA, PGA, anything. You go to rtsports.com/BSN or rtsports.com/alarm. And first-time depositors get 100% instant match up to $200 with a deposit code alarm23 or BSN23 for those codes. And please play responsibly, by the way. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for that. But yeah, this RT Sports Pick'em contest. What are your picks for this one? You had a video breaking them down, but give them to us here.
Yeah, I got a little video out there. You guys can find it on social media. I've retweeted it at RotoBuzzGuy. Justin Steele. Now, here's the interesting thing. I got the prop at over 5.5. But in the RT Sports game, it's 6 is the strikeout. So, it's a no win. You got to win, right? So it's a no win if he gets the 6. I need him to go over that mark. So yeah, a little more on the strikeouts for Justin Steele. Jose Barrios over 4.5 strikeouts. He's actually gone with 5 or more strikeouts. I think in like 7 of his last 9 games, like 4 out of his last 5, 7 out of his last 9. I think Barrios is just in a really, really nice spot here tonight against the White Sox, who they're striking out like 23-24% of the time against right-handed pitching. So Barrios over 4 strikeouts, Steele over 6 strikeouts, and then, having a little fun. I like the over in this Royals-Twins game. And I was like, really? Byron Buxton? Yeah, why not? Over half a run. Yeah, I mean, listen, I got that actually at -110 on DK also, but I put it into the real-time sports contest. So my real-time sports picks, Jose Barrios more than 4.5 strikeouts, Byron Buxton more than half a run, and Justin Steele more than 6 strikeouts. And I stand to 6x my money when I win.
Ooh, love that. Yeah, get over to rtsports.com right now, rtsports.com/alarm or /BSN, and use those promo codes we mentioned. Alarm23 is the one promo code, or BSN23 with our promo code. You can get that 100% deposit match up to $200 at rtsports.com. So awesome stuff there. I haven't looked at the props, but I'll kind of, if there's the props out for the Kodai Senga under, or the Matt Olson total bases, those will be my picks there.
You know what? I'm gonna go in there right now, and I'm gonna take a look for you.
All right,
I'm gonna take a look. I've got it. I've got it all bookmarked here. You wanted, what was it?
Senga,
Matt Olson over 1.5.
Yeah, total bases there.
Okay, done. And
Senga under 5.5 strikeouts if it's available.
Under 5.5 strikeouts. Met game not. Oh, here it is. There it is. No strikeout prop for Kodai Senga here on RT Sports. So you just have to try and find it somewhere else, peoples. Try and find it somewhere else. I think the important message here is rtsports.com/alarm, promo code alarm23. That's the important note right here.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, get those player props in and win big. All right. Let's get to some of our plus money picks for tonight's slate, and we call it our Diamond Dogs of the night.
I'm rounding up the Diamond Dogs.
Who the are the Diamond Dogs?
It's just a group of people who care, Roy. Not unlike folks at a hip-hop concert whose hands are not in the air.
An angry dog here.
Well, fireworks on 4th of July have really upset my my dogs at home. Well, two of them are like, whatevs, right? Mom keeps giving us CBD treats, so we'll take that all day long. But then there's one who was just like all freaked out. She wanted nothing to do with it. And she literally like slept like in the crook of my arm. She was like trying to crawl into my armpit. And she was just like all nestled in there. So, angry dogs.
What's your angry dog pick for tonight?
My angry dog pick. All right, so here you go. I'm going up against Pablo Lopez. We talked about how he pitches at home. I'm taking the Kansas City Royals on that run line, plus 1.5 runs, and I'm getting it for plus 105 on BetMGM. I think that the Royals can keep this one close. I know they've got Alec Marsh, the rookie, on the mound, but Pablo Lopez is not a guy who has been very trustworthy at home. So I'm going to take a shot on some plus money here with the Royals on the run line. How about you?
Yeah, I like that, fading Lopez. My Diamond Dog pick for tonight, I'm going with the Giants run line, minus 1.5, but it's plus money on DraftKings, plus 120. They're decent favorites on the money line, but going run line here for them to win by 2 at plus money. Alex Cobb on the mound for the Giants. Strong 1.43 ERA this season at home compared to a 4.50 ERA on the road. And the Mariners don't have great numbers against righties this season, and just about an average offense against right-handed pitching lately. And on the other side, it's just fading Tommy Milone, who's starting for Seattle here in his first start since April.
Tommy Malone's mom watches this show, dude. You gotta be nice.
Well, he hasn't been great. AAA, since he's been demoted these past few months, 4.47 ERA at AAA. They're calling him up here. And the Giants offense, they do have better offense, better numbers against righties than lefties this season. But over the past month, the Giants 3.28 WOBA against left-handed pitching. And the other factor here, the Giants have lost the first 2 games of the series against Seattle at home too. I think they're going to be looking to bounce back, not get swept. and win by a decent margin here. I mean, Cobb versus Malone, I just instantly lean the Giants here.
All right. Well, I hope you. I hope that hits for you.
All right, let's get to now our home run calls for tonight to wrap up today's show. And we're calling our.
He'll need a rocket up his ass to catch this one. That baby is out of here.
Now that's a dinger.
All right, I think you teased it a little bit earlier, but who do you got going deep tonight?
No, that's a dinger. I'm going with JD Martinez. He's plus 400 on DK. I have the over on his 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBI prop there. He's a low ball hitter. And Oswald Beto, he's a sinker ball guy, sinker slider. He definitely throws it out there low. And if he makes a mistake and he puts it right in the middle, which we've seen him do, JD Martinez going yard.
Nice. Yeah, plus 400 is a nice number for him, too. I'm going with Brandon Belt. You saw it there, plus 310 on DraftKings. Lance Lynn has allowed 22 home runs over his 17 starts this season. 6.47 ERA. At home this year, he's got a 7.22 ERA. And against lefty hitters this year, he's given up a 3.45 batting average, 6.55 slug. 16 of his 22 homers allowed have gone to lefties. And I'm seeing Belt here. Only 6 homers this season for him, but 3 in his past 15 games. And all 6 this year have come against right-handed pitching. And Belt has some good BVP numbers against Lynn over their careers, 389 batting average. So going with Belt, plus 310, not bad there.
Yeah, go for it, man. Yeah, listen, I was glad that he left the Bay Area. He was, it's too much on him. When you win that World Series with the Giants, they expect you to run it back every single year. So yeah, I'm digging on it.
Yeah, Crawford's the only one left from that from those teams.
He's the only one left. The last of a dying breed.
Well, those are our home run calls, and appreciate everyone watching today with all of our picks and our bets today. Howard, it's been awesome having you on. Appreciate you sticking around after all your shows today.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Looking forward to that. Gonna sit back and relax for a little bit and watch that MLB DFS live stream with Grande and Colby Conway. At least I'm finally get to watch a show that doesn't have me in it.
Yeah, tune into that one, the MLB Quick Pitch DFS live show coming up 5 o'clock Eastern here, less than 15 minutes to get your DFS lineup set for tonight. We mentioned full slate of games, so tune into that to get your DFS lineups in as you watch our best bets cash, hopefully. We'll be back tomorrow's show, 4 o'clock Eastern. I think me and James Grande doing Thursday shows with you, so tune into then and every day here at 4 o'clock Eastern on Bettor Sports Network. And good luck with all your bets tonight. Appreciate everyone watching. See you tomorrow.
Bettor Sports Betting on the Bettor Sports Network.